Good evening. How are we doing today? Let us begin. Still on me, Incendiary shot. For now. For now. I'm getting close to wanting to do something else. I'm getting close, but I can do another round of Arbiter slash Citadels. See if I can get the gloves. But if not, I might start leveling the Deadeye. Because it sounds fun, and yeah, this is kind of whatevs.
Who's next?
Just kind of whatevs. Let me just bring game volume down a little bit. I lowered my music volume on my side, just so I can better hear the game and stuff. Had it a bit loud, so I'll have to check in. Oh, you want acceleration shrine? All right. The Tactician is feeling a bit tankier. Now that I've actually got some armor. Ooh, 10 neural catalysts. Dang. Ooh, someone's found a Lavianges. I could do with one of them. I could do with a Lavianges. But yeah, I did, before I logged on today, I did set up a new loot filter for the Deadeye if I want to roll it. That, you know, has evasion and the like set up. Gear wise, spears. And I think I'll do it in this league. I think it makes sense to do a build challenge in a league where I can't just buy my way out of the problem solving. Has to be stuff I've found already. Or like can farm. I'm so glad I finally managed to get my video out today. That was such an enormous amount of work. I really underestimated how long it was going to take me to write the script, refine the script, create all of the images, and then even just like editing it as well took me just so much longer than I thought it was going to. And I don't really, I'm not super happy with, all of my editing choices. I think I could have stood to add some B-roll. The next video I have planned on crossbows, though, is hopefully going to be considerably shorter, more in the 10-minute range, because I don't have too much to say on crossbows. Just really one idea that requires quite a lot of thought on making it work in terms of adding global reload and everything we need to take into consideration for that. You hear that about the work required, right? A 35-minute video. I don't know how many hours I put into it. A lot. Not to mention all the stuff that didn't even make it into the video. Also, I don't know if this was the right choice, but this time as well, I filmed the script separately and then, filmed the images. And it gave me a lot more freedom when I was doing the editing, but I think it added quite a lot of editing time. It was nice to be able to like freely move the camera around and stuff, or like the video of me around, not having it locked in place by the choices I've made during filming. But yeah, it was just a lot of finicky editing stuff. Even for like really basic things. Well, I get a better result, but it's just like, because I created the slide deck alongside writing the script, it was already like basically in the right order. So the Atlas video I filmed with the slide deck running, and then so it was just significantly quicker to edit because everything was already basically done, whereas I had to go through and edit the script, and then I had to go and film the slide deck, and then I had to, do a lot of freeze frames because I didn't film the slide deck at the same timing as the video. I just filmed all the transitions, so I had to like split it up at the right points. So yeah, I think I get a better video out of it, but I think the time is just longer, right? Which makes sense, right? A better video, more time. The video seems quite basic, right? But it was actually a lot of work. But yeah, also inexperience. But my workflow is not particularly complicated at the moment. I'm not doing any like really fancy transitions or anything like that yet. I'd like to learn to do them. But, when? When do I have time to sit down and do the Da Vinci training in between playing Path of Exile, making videos, and working?
If you must. Let us hope there's now lies one.
Did you get any more interesting comments on your video? think the other thing that I really need to get better at is procrastinating. You know, I basically once I realized I wanted to get the video out by Tuesday, then I really started like cranking up the daily hours on it, but I could have really done with splitting up all of that work over a longer period of time. And then maybe I would have had the energy to, you know, put the effort into adding like more B-roll and, you know, reshoots for some bits that maybe I wasn't, you know, perfectly happy with. But once I got to the end of like all these days in a row of like, you know, 10 hours plus a day, I just was not in the mood to keep working on it.
Another notch on me helmet.
So many breaches. Nothing too crazy. The comments are more balanced now. That's good. People are definitely, I've found, nicer on these like feedback videos for the most part than they are on build videos. There's a lot more gatekeeping on build stuff, eh? You're still getting like a steady influx of views. I checked in on your Reddit thread and saw that not really been any updates on there. Unless all the comments are now on the person that reposted it for you. I don't know if you saw someone else posted your video on Reddit. Yeah, my first video did that. The Atlas video did that. It did like nothing on the first day. This one's doing better in the first couple of hours than it did on the first entire day. I'm sure in no small part thanks to the thumbnail that Blaze created for me. Yeah, I got quite a lot of subscribers from the first video. I went from 240 and I'm now at like 345, I think. So that's an enormous jump, right, for someone of my size. Maybe one of my lovely viewers will send DM this one as well. It is stalling season. Yeah, I saw DM released a video like an hour after me. I don't know if that's good or bad for my ability to get clicks. It's probably it doesn't make any difference. Probably doesn't make any difference. Yeah, I was thinking that today actually. Even like looking at the PoE2 streaming category earlier this morning, I like logged on and there's like 9 people streaming PoE2. So I think I get a few more like random drop-bys than I would normally. They never stick around, but that is the nature of streaming, eh? I don't know what the ratio is for streamers to keep people that come by their stream. I'm assuming it's very low. Oh, I just dropped Divine. Yeah. But what am I going to do with Divines in solo self-found, huh? Reroll my Gore Girdle a few more times? But yeah, I'm not sure, like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know about you, but when I'm like deep into PoE 2, like in new league starts, my appetite for PoE 2 content is pretty ravenous. So I don't know if there's like I don't know if it would be like competition, really, for like releasing stuff in peak season, because there's just more eyeballs generally, right? And people are hungrier for stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it works. I mean, you've released more videos than me, right? Do you notice a difference in your analytics? Oh, whoops. Oh, my headphones are out of juice. Let me know if there's any feedback. It's normally okay. Also, how's the music versus game volume? You could do me a solid and let me know. Music 3, game 4, voice comfortable 7. So they're well balanced? Or could the music be up a little bit? Are those like music's 3 out of 10, or music is like 3 volume relative to Yeah, I don't know either. I think I'd like the music to be audible, right? So you can enjoy it rather than it be like too weak. I want to move it up a smidge, right? Yeah, I thought so. I've lowered it so that it doesn't, because I had it, you know, just on max on my end, like, but then I just found it was drowning out everything. So I've dropped it down. Do you still make like non POE 2 content for your main audience? Your first one complaining about loot like a week or so on 0.1 launch did really well, the other ones not so much, right? I hate how, you know, how well like really negative stuff does sometimes. Wish it wasn't so. Then again, I mean, Try built his channel on being super positive, right? So who cares? You make other videos, you've slowed down on them. I enjoyed your comment on my video. Stop it, it's already dead. Time and energy, right? We don't have infinite of either. I have found I've definitely enjoyed playing the game a little bit less and spending more time on the YouTube stuff though. I mean, that's probably because we're, you know, deep into... that question. I don't know if it's because of the extra British enunciation, but it was brutal. You may argue, just go and do something Millie is good at. But what is that? You enjoyed the breakdown of the defensive archetypes and hybrids. Thank you. Yeah, I was pretty pleased that I'd found that angle.
What is it? Speak.
Okay, I keep pressing the wrong button. Yeah, I thought it was interesting, right? Just looking at it, what do people expect, right, from the archetypes they're playing games, right? Even if we're not talking about POE, they have such a big player base now compared to the first game. You know, when you roll a warrior or a mage, you have expectations built into that, right? Imagine all the people that rolled like a warrior or a mercenary because they saw that they were strength based and thought they were going to get a really tanky character by default. Yeah, I think the gore girdle thing was still in there as kind of like a remnant of the plans I had to do like a real breakdown into the available options. I was even considering cutting the entire like spiel I did on explaining the active and passive defensive layers and the elemental considerations, because I was like, oh, am I adding too much educational things into what is ostensibly like a critique video? So I left the gore girdle and like rearguard things in there just as like a nod to like there are options, you know. Oof, man, it's been a little frustrating how many people have commented defenses are meant to be layered, right? Yeah, I guess they've just missed the point of what you were getting at. Imagine being a warrior or merc and getting told by a Reddit neckbeard you need to play the game properly, right? Yeah. Yeah. The point is, right, the tools aren't available in the archetype you've chosen. Like, that's a failure of the game. Oh, another tink. All they tell you, right? Like, you know, you want to roll like T15s, just like normal 6 mod T15s? Well, then you need like 150k armor. And no, you can't stack life unless you're a Titan or a Blood Mage. You don't know if defenses can be balanced as they are. Well, I think there's many more factors, right, that need to be balanced than just defenses. It's a combination of balancing the content type, player agency, and the defenses themselves, right? It's a lot. I don't think they've painted themselves into a corner just yet, though. I think it's fixable.
We will take the power that we deserve. You could bloody well try. Fire! Easy prey.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd agree the foundations are too shaky.
As night falls.
I mean, yeah, I've heard... who was it? I think it was probably Dreamcore and Palsteron, maybe? Yeah, I think it might have been Dreamcore. Talking about... I mean, you might be right, in terms of the offensive side, with the way that damage scales in this game. That it's almost impossible not to have exponential damage. So yeah, I mean, you might be right in that regard, actually. That we're always going to have this like this meta of extremely high damage. Yeah, I don't know what changes would have to see to bring it down, and I'm not even sure if they want to bring it down, right? Like, they do want that power fantasy to exist, and if it exists, I guess it's hard not to make it easily achievable. You can't make everything that scales damage that high as rare as Temporalis, right? So yeah.
Simple enough.
I don't think they want to bring it down much. I maintain the issue is more or less the disparity balance between numbers and multipliers. Right, yeah. I think that was the point that Dreamcore made. I can't remember the point he made, but yeah, I think you're making the same point. It's part of the fun of giving feedback. POE 2 has really good bones. It really does, right? It's such a fun game to play. And that is the main thing, right? That is the main thing. Yeah, I thought about whether I wanted to give any feedback on the offensive side of things, and I think I will at some point, but not until we see where the new endgame is going. Because I think the feedback on defenses, right, can be addressed regardless of the new endgame. And I think the offense will kind of tell us whether or not they can keep a handle on things like cast on crit comet. Comet, cast on comet. We heard you like comets, so we got your comets. Bringing up the one-handed mace and shield versus two-handed mace was good. I mean, that is something that feels like, and I stand by that it feels very out of place that they have such low mobility classes that can't withstand damage.
Fire shot!
What, they can block ignites? Stupid block mobs. Stupid expedition blocking mobs. See, the block is overpowered for them.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think swords will be interesting, right? Because swords, I think, may end up having some of the same issues as maces. Because I guess they did an okay job with the mobility of the druid, like with werewolf, but werewolf feels very dex, doesn't it? As does wyvern, really. Just gonna grab my other headphone. Alright, give me a Lavianges. Oh! He hit it! Oh, and it's a good roll as well. Fuck yeah! Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to play swords if they come out.
Yes?
As much as I'm not a huge fan of, you know, one-button builds, I fucking love Cyclone. Interesting you play on controller. Controller UI low-key goated with everything in the middle. And you can see it flash charge amounts.
Fine.
Yeah, I like the controller UI. I've tried it, having it left or right, and I don't really enjoy it. Alright, we got our Laviangers. So I can take the OP node now. Yeah, I would love more customizability. I agree. Yeah, especially when they change the stash tab layout for controllers. I don't like this. I prefer using the original stash tab layout, but on controller. I find the tabs on the left and right actually more difficult to use. I don't know why they did this, and I can't, you know, I don't have a choice now to change it. Temp chains, damage is extra chaos, no thanks. That one's fine. Alright, head to the next citadels. I'm going to do one more arbiter. Try and get my gloves. Oh, I missed another YouTube subscription. Thank you, Fernando. And the player. I don't know if they're watching though, eh? They might be watching my video. I guess YouTube doesn't distinct between them, right, in OBS. I'll thank them anyway. Yeah, I did have someone comment on the video already about hardcore. And I think their comment was something along the lines of, you know, could I cover, or I could have covered the hardcore perspective, which I was expecting, right? There's going to be a bunch of comments like that. And it's fair enough, because it is a decent sized part of the community. And they were saying that they only felt safe with 15,000 energy shield, which I don't think I've ever felt I needed that much when I've been playing hardcore. Unless I'm doing GNR, in which case 20k minimum. I wonder if we'll ever get UI options in the game. That would be nice. I never really see anyone asking for it though, you know, in feedback. Everyone seems pretty content. I don't really want, you know... What was that add-on in WoW that everyone used for changing bars around? But I guess that's because it's LUA based, right? I don't know if it still is, but it was back in the day, so it was easy for people to make UI add-ons. Well, I know they never want UI add-ons, right? I don't know if any of you were around back in the day when someone got suspended or banned because they showed footage of themselves playing with a popsicle stick over the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons, and GGG determined that that was an illegal macro, basically, for automation. And the person got banned for having their flasks automated. Criminals. Bloody criminals. Oh, fuck. What the fuck?
Another notch on me helmet.
What is insanity? Which one is that? Oh, it's the double corrupt on belts. I quite like an insanity gamble on a decent rare belt. It's not very often I use a rare belt, but when I do... Oh, divine. Wow, I've been getting a lot of multi-breach maps. Boom, 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 boom. I wonder how much news will have come out of GGG by the time I'm back next week from my little weekend away. Working on the next vid. I should probably start working on the script this week. Though, don't tell anyone, but I was working on my editing today instead of doing work I needed to do. So tomorrow is going to be a busy day at work. Easy. To be our little secret. I guess when I level my Primal Strikes Deadeye, I'm probably going to have to level as a Lightning Spear until I unlock Primal Strikes. And then I don't know if I'm meant to, as part of the random build challenge, if using Lightning Strikes would be cheating. Probably have to try and have Primal Strikes as my map clearing ability as well, right? Don't know how that's going to go. A nice evasion melee character. And then I think like ascendancy wise, I guess I'll be doing cold shots with the shock mark. So at least I won't have to use thunderstorm for the first time in a long time. What do we think? Is thunderstorm staying or shock induction? Are we going to be allowed a free shock in every class? For the low price of, what is it, 79? Dex and 75 strength and int. I mean, you do have to get 75 strength and int, right? I guess that's relatively trivial. Why do you think they wouldn't want us to have free shocks? Is it because it negates like all of the other shock abilities in the game? It's probably that, right? There's no point for what? Shock conduction arrow? Stormcaller arrow, whatever it's called. Oh, proximal. It did effectively ripped my explosive shocked build. Ah. Soul Eater and Undying Will is a fun combo. Jesus Christ, they spawned quick. Ooh, a jawbone. Nice. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously I like having an easy access to shock. But it does turn off some of the puzzle solving for builds, I guess. Ooh, we got a Thane's Rune of Spring. That'll be good for my my Deadeye. Boom, 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 ba-dum. Bo, 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 bo. Boo, boo, da, boo. Boo, 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 boo. I have to say, like, Rapid Shot, you know, with Armor Broken and Molten One's Gift, it doesn't do terrible damage. Like, in terms of adding to my overall DPS. It is a passable ability. As long as you don't forget to spend the heat. I'm going to turn the music up a smidge. All right. Just a smidge. Just a little smidgen. Just a touch. Just a peck. A peck of pickled pepper. Well, I mean, whatever I've done to my defenses at least means I can tank these stupid breach mobs now a little bit. So that's pretty good, right? 2300 health. What am I at? 9k armor. 10.5k applies to Ellie. Gore Girdle. So what's that? 19k plus 20k? Like, it's fine, right? For 6 mod T15s. I don't know how hard T16s would hit with 6 mods, but I haven't started varling maps yet, so... I think I was on a call earlier with... Oh, thanks for the sub, McCrisper. I was on a call earlier with someone else from Blazers community, Demirius. And he was saying he can't get anything feeling good with armor, with like... Even with 150k armor, which sounded crazy, because 150k armor is a lot. I don't know what these people are doing. Are they just trying to face tank everything? I guess that comes back to the whole, like, you know, movement is built into the game. There's just very few builds that can just face tank. There is no real brain off grinding, eh? I did get in, I think it was 0.2 when I was playing my like poison concoction Pathfinder. And I think I had 90% or like 80% evasion with acrobatics. This was before they got rid of acrobatics and put it on evasion. And like, I was brain off grinding for sure. And like, I would die like once every maybe 30 maps, which like doesn't matter at all. I was not even thinking. I was just running face first into absolutely everything. And I was not, you know, massively stacking ES. Obviously that's no good for hardcore, because 1 death is too many, but softcore, I think 1 death in 30 maps is fine. When you're not thinking about what you're doing. Boom, 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 boom. I'm excited to try Spears again, actually. I haven't played Spears since 0.3 League launch. When I played a Rake and Blood Hunt. Was it no 0.2 League launch? Sorry, I played Rake and Blood Hunt, not 0.3. Played Run and Gun 0.3. Back to my crossbow love. Oh, another divine. It's raining divines. Hallelujah. It's raining tinks. The brain dead playstyle comes from killing everything immediately on the screen, yeah. Yeah, I mean, but poison concoction, I mean, I guess it killed quickly. But like this build, right, is not killing everything immediately. They're still, I guess they're getting slowed by the oil. Oh, I'm slowed by temp chains now. Yeah, I guess they die pretty quick. But I mean, I just think, you know, some things are a bit overstated in terms of like how much people are dying. I wouldn't say I'm particularly mechanically gifted at the game.
Stay quick on my feet.
AKA my build. Is that his Scattering Calamity build? Armor, ES, Scattering, yeah, just keep it. No, just keep it. I think my number one hope for balance changes is the death of plus skills.
What is it? The deal is made.
You know, I find so many like cool amulets, like especially defensive ones or, you know, attribute amulets, and it's like, well, can't use that, it doesn't have plus skills. What is this? Font of Power. Weird. You literally don't have to aim to kill the screen. Yeah, I guess that's similar to Prolif builds, eh? It's a shame the best way to Prolif Ignite is with oil, especially as it adds damage. Because I think if I was just doing Incendiary Shot, I don't think this build would be very good. At all. It'd be incredibly painful, even with like Wildfire and Explosive Impact. The Prolif just doesn't cut it. Oh, there's a void? Oh, it's dead. Oh, it's dead. Are you still playing your Calamity build?
Speak.
Minus max rares, no thanks. Boom, 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 boom.
We need to.
I guess I'll go via Moment of Zen. You haven't played it out of getting the footage for like 2 months. Time flies, eh? I can't believe it's been 2 months since that build.
All in a day's work.
I guess POE 1 came out, eh? Not that you played that, but I guess that's why it feels like yesterday to me. Yesterday in POE 2 days. It's like Severance. My brain just switches between the games, and those are the time frames. What does... you know, I don't think I've read scavenge plating properly. While active, uses fragments of armor to scavenge from enemies to bolster. Fully breaking enemies' armor grants you stacks. So I'm getting stacks of scavenge plating from oil grenade. Does oil break armor? Oh no! Oh, I know why I'm getting scavenge plating. This node. Except because I guess of all the increased armor break, this fully breaks their armor. Because it's affected by increased armor break. So when I pin an enemy, their armor gets fully broken. That's cool. I didn't even realize that interaction was a thing. Because what I got 40, 80. There's some over here as well. Yeah, 120% increased armor break. I guess that increases this to 100. Is that right? That it would be multiplicative like that? I guess it would, right? It would double it. We have a problem. One of the things you almost brought up in the video but forgot was that we also have a problem where a lot of the defensive layers scale multiplicatively. And the reason that's a problem is because you already have to have investment in that archetype to benefit. I don't fully understand. So could you give me an example to help me understand the point? Scavenge plating increases the armor you already have. Right. You mean like you couldn't like use scavenge plating to add armor to a non-armor user is what you're saying? Right, I get you, right. There's no like, oh, you can have this skill and get a percentage of evasion as armor or something, or just a flat amount of armor. Yeah, I mean, it's why Subterfuge Mask is so fucking broken, right? It's way too good. Compared to everything else. Like, is it the best defensive notable on the tree? I think, maybe? Without a doubt, yeah, right? I don't think there's a single node in the entire tree that gives the amount of power that Subterfuge Mask gives in terms of defense. It's crazy. Especially with how well evasion already synergizes with ES. It is criminal that they then released the armor version of it in the state that they did. Absolute criminal. It's like, what are they afraid of with Armor ES, you know? I wonder if we'll see a subterfuge mask nerf when they come after ES. You did the math on your explosive shot build. I was going to compare it to Palsteron's 3 Dragons, and I'd gotten like 1500 extra ES from the helmet essentially. Wow. Yeah, the helmet slot is super primo, eh? for ES and evasion builds. I could probably drop the helmet from this armor build and not really notice. Could probably not even notice. To help put this in perspective on my current character, if I were to swap out a helmet with 550 energy shield for a max rolled 3 dragons with 1 socket, I'd end up losing 2,000 energy shield and 2,500 evasion rating. Wow. Yeah. I mean, I've definitely also done those comparisons in POB when I've been trying to decide whether or not to use a unique helm. Oh, that would be, I mean, what about this for an idea? What if, instead of making uniques scale, what if there was a really rare item that could imprint a unique effect onto a rare? Imagine the chase items you could create. The item would have to be incredibly rare though, right? Afraid it and still a ton of FOMO. Yeah. I mean, even just thinking about it, right? Trying to like balance it would be pretty tough. Are you ready to get spongled? No stick, only throw. Ass idea. No give, only throw. No give, only throw. What? What mean? Ooh, triple res helm. That's cool. It's a meme about playing fetch with a dog. They don't want to give you the stick, they just want you to throw it. Right. We went for a, I mean, that reminds me of an anecdote. We went for a walk in the forest near where we live the other day, and there's a very adorable little dog came up to us with his little tennis ball, and he put down the tennis ball. And I was like, "Oh, you want to play? You want to play fetch?" And he like looks at me and he looks down at the ball, and I'm like, "All right, yeah, let's play fetch." And then I go to pick up the ball, and he's like, "No, my ball." And I'm like, "Oh, sorry." And then he puts it down again, and then looks at me and looks at the ball, and I repeat. And he's like, "No, this is my ball. I'm just showing it to you, and now I will leave." Yeah, they love it. They love a bit of keep away.
The deal is made.
He was a master at it. He didn't even run away.
Goodbye.
Alright, let's grab a chilled ground temp chains map. And go to see our friend in the moment of Zen. Yeah, my dog, when he was you know, a pup heading into teenager, you know, they love keep away. And the amount of times I had to chase that fucking dog across a park with someone else's toy or bag. And the more I chased him, the more he had fun. Oh, Megnords. Probably Megnords here. It's either Megnords or Cloak. I don't really like using Cloak of Flame. But yeah. And then, like, the only way I could convince Yeah, he was. I mean, yeah, but he's, when they turn into teenagers, they forget all of their commands, right? Like the chances of you being able to recall a teenage dog are pretty low. Benton, yeah, classic. Their juvenile years are, yeah, are rough, rough. But yeah, the way I used to trick him was I would start running away in the opposite direction, and then he'd chase me, and then I'd catch him and take the thing off him. It didn't always work, but it worked a lot. Stupid dog. I tried to teach him how to go jogging, and he just thought it was a game and kept trying to take me out. You think this music's too trippy for a stream? I mean, I love it, but shrug indeed, shrug indeed. How's the music level? Is it alright? I wish there was an easier way to do like live monitoring. I can see the relative sound levels, but they don't really tell me anything. It doesn't feel like useful information. So my sound levels are telling me that the music is much louder than the game sound. Is that true? I don't know if it's true. Not really. You see? Sound levels tell me nothing. Absolutely nothing. Hello, Xling Tian X. That is a hard name to say. Welcome to the stream. Was it Lin G Tian? You don't hear any music at all, only game sounds. Yes, keep killing bosses. That's because I'm not allowed to send music to YouTube, unfortunately. YouTube monitors live streams for copyright. So, cannot do it, unfortunately.
Who sent you?
So I apologize that I'm talking about music that you can't hear.
Goodbye.
Right now they're about equal. All right. Drop it down a little smidge. All right, where's the next citadel? Is it close by? I assume it's this red one. Let's go to a cliffside. I need another precursor. Game sounds get a bit repetitive. Yeah. I'm just overthinking it, I think. Oh no, I didn't come to my stash tab for maps. I walked into the room and I forgot what I came here for. I'm always doing that. Some might say it's aging. Pack size, rarity, shrines, and essences. That'll do. That'll do. Shock ground, recovery rate. Monsters have crit chance. This might kill me. Crit chance and crit multi. And shocked ground. And Doriani's. Yeah, I mean, okay. A crit from a Doriani's is going to one-shot me. Darkness falls across the land. After watching your newer video, I now know why hybrid armor evasion sucks. And guys, why does GGG hates with Hunter? Sorcery ward each your own defense, damage nodes don't interact with any uniques, and the 100 passive is dead without dual pathing. Yeah, strength dex is in a rough spot. For sure. I'll still keep playing it. But I agree. I mean, Sorcery Ward is considerably better now, right? It gives you so much max hit that it's worth the fact that it eats some of your defenses. Energy shield at home, yeah. I mean, obviously it doesn't help against damage over time. But, I mean, you can check out Blazeworks playing it in hardcore to see how good it is now. His shield wall witch hunter was very, very strong. But I guess that also has built-in block, right? So if they don't release Duelist next patch, there's a chance I league start witch hunter. Because I did Pathfinder league start this patch, so I'll probably go back to witch hunter. And test out one of my OG run and gun builds on whatever new content they put in. Then again, they might be releasing the Arcane Archer, right? Which, you know, just sounds right up my alley. Right up the old alley. Yeah, I mean, there are some really cool things you can do with the Witch Hunter Ascendancy, though. Because of the interaction that, like, Decimating Strike has, and Culling Strike. I don't know if you've seen, like, the Culling Strike stacking builds. I'm pretty sure they still work, right? With Mirius Uxor, which is a unique helm. It's pretty good. You can get like close to 100% cull. Or close enough to 100% cull. But yeah, I wonder if we'll get some new tools with Duelist, right, that will make hybridizing possible. You'd hope so, considering they're melee and they have to stand still a lot. At least with Witch Hunter you can keep moving around with your crossbows. But if you're going to have to stand still to swing a sword, well, you know, you better hope you can survive the hits. I mean, like, could we even think of, like, what kind of hybridization buffs you could implement that would make stacking evasion and armor at the same time possible? You know, to give a direct benefit themselves. I mean, I know Tactician tries to do it, right? With these two nodes. Deflection, ailment threshold. But then it capture evasion chance at 50%. And gives you enemies have an accuracy penalty based on distance. Okay, well that's useless, right? I mean, that comes back to the whole, like, you don't really get to choose whether you're at distance from an enemy unless you're killing them instantly. Feels like that should just be accuracy penalty full stop to make that node worth it. You like to take that node on Flicker Strike. Why is that? I have never looked at Flicker Strike builds. So I know nothing about them. To prove GGG ain't the boss of me. Hello! Glass cannon, the only option. Yeah, sometimes. I mean, this guy, I guess you could class as a glass cannon. But he doesn't really do enough damage to say that. He's kind of in the middle. In the middle of everything. Maybe we can roll the chill ground away. Oh, we can. Nice. But yeah, I mean, that is the prevailing player sentiment, right, is to build glass cannons, unfortunately. And I actually felt like I contradicted myself a little bit when I made that point. But I didn't bother taking it out. I just left it in. Because I said people want to build glass cannons with the massive hit pools. It's like, well, is that a glass cannon? Oh, it's got cooldown recovery rate. No thanks. Yeah, you did notice that. Yeah, I thought you would, protagonist. I thought you would. But yeah, I don't know what I was. I mean, I know what I was trying to say, right? They build big offense and the defense they build is just being able to take hits every now and again. Like a big hit pool only works with no other defensive mechanisms if you're doing so much damage that you're not taking hits very often. So I guess it's still kind of a glass cannon, except you don't die when you get hit. I don't know. What would be the term, you know? Plexiglass cannon. Yeah, plexiglass cannon. That's a good term. You should use that in a video. It's funny. Yeah, we'll see if anyone else points that out in the comments, you know? That I made that little... You know? I bet if I posted the video on Reddit, it would be the first response. I was kind of tempted to post it on Reddit. That's what we call engagement bait. Yeah, I did it on purpose. Yeah, exactly. I did it on purpose. On porpoise. Yeah, I mean, I was quite pleased with my analysis. So I was like, oh, maybe this would land okay on Reddit. But I just, for the sake of a few extra views, I was like, actually, no. I don't think I want to yeah. I've been burned too many times before, you know? Even just posting builds. I mean, you were here, right? You were here at the repercussions of one of the builds I posted. Early on, in the old streaming. Plagiarist looks at the heat map of POE2 builds, right? We're all plagiarists. But yeah, I mean, that person, a content creator's rite of passage, yeah. And I did end up figuring out who it was. They revealed themselves to me. And then a bunch of much bigger content creators also put together very similar builds. And I don't think they went after them. As for the Reddit stuff, you can just throw it up and turn off comment notifications. Yeah, but then they come to the YouTube. Maybe they don't, right? Maybe they don't. I guess all the snark is kind of contained on Reddit most of the time. Oh no, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die! Is that what you did? Or you're resilient enough that you didn't need to.
Another notch on my armor.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Maybe I'll just like post it and even though the comments you got were head scratches, it didn't cost you anything. Yeah, true. True. I mean, one of your comments like tried to be constructive, right? At least, even if they misunderstood or didn't agree with you. Like the 0 defenses guy comment on your thread too. The 0 defenses guy comment on my thread. On my new video. Oh, right. The divine, yeah. Yeah. It's easy, man. You just need 14 different items. You can make an invincible character that does no damage. See, I'm being snarky now, but it was just funny, wasn't it? He started it. He started it. Oh, pack size and experience. Waystones, nice. I'm just like, why did you have to go to these lengths again? Bloody chilled ground everywhere.
What is it?
How many maps till Arbiter? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus the Citadel. I'm gonna try minus max res. While his build wasn't meta and it's cool and all, you can tell he put real work into his gear. Yeah, I mean, the man proved a point. Build was cool. Like face tanking those like T16 fully delirious bosses is no small feat, you know.
All in a day's work.
While I was doing research for my video, I learned there's a term called getting fub gunned from people that try and follow his builds. And then I think it seems like a lot of the time they just don't actually follow his build and then complain that it doesn't work. But that, you know, his builds can be a bit glass cannon if you don't build them right. Or like too glass cannon, where you spend all your money investing in these like map setups and then they can't keep their characters alive. And then you see their build and they're like, well, I changed this, and this, and it doesn't work. I don't know, maybe I'm too cynical, but I feel like having stuff like Aminamu's Undying Hate and Defiance of Destiny kind of cheapens the point he's presenting in response to me specifically, even though the character concept itself is sound. Yeah, I mean, maybe you just didn't belabor your points enough. I find it's good to repeat points a lot in YouTube videos. I guess you notice I do it, right? I say the same thing many times throughout the video because I think message, you think you did? Well, I think you were clear in how you communicated, but you only communicated it once. And I think maybe some stronger message discipline if you want the general public to get it. Xerox and DN. Sup man, just watch your new defenses video. Interesting stuff. I guess it is a lot to digest and I think it needs it needs even more depth. Yeah, I agree. It's I kind of just scratched the surface. The video could have ended up being at least twice as long because I was planning to go into like a full analysis of all of the available options in the game and where the gaps are. And then I got to the end of the bit you saw and was like, oh, this is already quite a big project. But I do plan on going more in depth into defensive options as part of like a future project. Just not right now. Yeah, repetition annoys me, so I try to be as brief as possible for better or worse. I figure if people want points repeated, they're fine to rewatch. Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on who you're trying to get through to, eh? I mean, I'm the same as you, right? I don't need points repeated. Well, it depends how complex the subject is and how familiar I am already with it. And I also have that tendency that I don't want to repeat myself, but I've found in like, you know, especially something I learned at work, you have to just keep repeating yourself if you want it to go in for new concepts on people. It won't go in if you say it once. But it depends what you want out of your video, right? If you're trying to get through to the wider crowd, then repeat. If you're just there to put the information out there and you don't care, then you do you. You do you, man. And if it annoys you to repeat yourself, then there's no point doing it, right? If you can't stand behind the work that you put out there. This build's actually feeling a bit more fun now that I'm not dying in every map. And needing to run like 3 mods. I figured bringing up the big 10 points and then expanding and recapping would be good enough. The problem is the time necessary for all that. Yeah, fair, right? That is very fair. I'm no expert on YouTube. I think I have some expertise in comms, you know, in convincing people of new ideas and change, because I do that for a living. Did he just drop a ritual precursor? Oh, it was a unique one, right? I was going to say, what's the Abyss mob doing dropping ritual tablets? I guess this Ellie Pen map has been feeling pretty good actually. I guess my armor applies to Ellie damage is doing some heavy lifting with Gore Girdle. +1 minions.
We need to collect.
I don't know why I kept it. I guess the video must have picked up a little bit of speed because I'm seeing quite a few subs come in from it. If anyone's watching live who has just subbed in the last 20 minutes, Bobby Fuzzy, Mad Potato, Glenn McCrisper, thank you. Zerok, do you think dodge should not be inherent, for example, but have another thing to replace it, like Dex does dodge, Strength does a pushover, Int does blink? Yeah, I did consider that, right, of having unique active skills depending on archetype. I think it's a decent idea. That's still giving them an inherent like active ability, right? That they can balance around. Or like, you know, the archetypes change dodge in some unique and interesting way. I thought about, you know, what if Dex gave like phasing as like a active ability? You just subbed. Thank you, Hankenstein. I appreciate it. That has not come up on my notifications, but I do appreciate it. Thank you. Great content deserves a sub. Oh, I really appreciate that. That's really nice of you to say. Thank you. Yeah, Zarek, I think, you know, I think you're spot on, right? I think they need to lean more into the active abilities. That's the unique part of this game that really separates it from its predecessor. The design space is quite interesting. I think the challenge they have is how they make that work and balance it across the different content types, especially like normal mapping. Like dodge is useful, right, when you're doing high density content, because it does get you out of danger, providing that you can deal with the enemies while you're rolling. So like, you know, putting a dot on them and rolling away. Ooh, an echoes. Thank you. So yeah, it's not, dodging in high density content is not for every archetype, is it? Yeah, but for example, Strength with the pushover would do a knockback and damage. Dex does a simple evasion dodge like now, and maybe Int can steal resources when blink into a group of monsters, mana or ES. Ah, there's a that reminds me, what game is it that has that like movement skill that like explodes when you move into a pack? I feel like I was playing it recently. But yeah, I mean, I think your ideas are good, Zarek. I guess I'm just also thinking about how the game would need to change to accommodate them. Because it's a combination, right? It's a combination of giving those cool active abilities and then having the game be balanced and structured in a way that you're incentivized to use them. Lin GTN, I just noticed that armor hybrids, we have no defensive spirit gem. You mean no strength dex one? Is that, yeah, I guess, is that true? I think that's, it might be. Yeah, you have to use either a strength or a dex one, right? Scavenge, is scavenge plating strength dex? No, it's just strength. Thinking about some stuff from Dota 2. We have a lot of different movement stuff, yeah? I mean, there are war cries, right, which knock back currently in the game, and I don't know how well they're used. I mean, knockback is a cool ability if you can control for the type of monsters you're interacting with. I think one of the challenges there is it doesn't do anything against ranged enemies. Whereas dodge does a lot against ranged enemies, because you can basically, you can dodge through any projectile, right? And I can see why they're resistant to add too many movement abilities into the game, because then people just use them for traveling. And it just condenses the game into that kind of like super speedy PoE 1 gameplay. Let's have a look at the spirit gems. What do we have? I guess you're probably right. Crossbow. Well, yeah, I mean, there's banner, right? There's Defiance banner. Then Inverto, knock back and bash them. Yeah, suck them in. I love abilities that pull enemies into you. I'm hoping we get one of those with swords, right? As like something to do like on Cyclone. I guess we have reverse knockback. A unique, right? Empire's Grasp. Yeah, I guess we only have Defiance banner. What else is there? Herald. Yeah, Dex Int Supremacy, eh? Charge regulation is Dex in. Yeah, they've got to release a strength Dex class, right? And add a bunch of new spirit reservations in. Can't imagine how much better Mercenary will get when Duelist comes in. Let's look at the positives, eh? When Duelist comes, Mercenary is going to get even better than it is today. And it's already good. Cooldown rate. There were a few mobs that had stuff like that in World of Warcraft. I would have loved Shadow Priest getting a black hole type displacement CC ability. Yeah, black hole abilities. Yeah, I love like black hole spells. There's like a was it D3 or D4 had a really cool like black hole ability, right? I think I used that when I played that game. That the sorcerer had. That like sucked things in as when you shot it. That was really cool. I love stuff like that. And you can make the, you know, the graphics of it just look so incredible. In before GGG gives Duelist Ascendancy its own nose like Oracle and not touch the tree otherwise. Why you gotta kill dreams, protagonist? Why you gotta kill the dream? Enigma from Dota 2, literally ulti is a black hole. That's cool. I've never really got into Dota. I think I played it once with a friend who was really into it. And it did not grip me immediately, and he never seemed to be particularly happy when he was playing it. He never seemed to really be enjoying himself. He got very angry, broke a lot of mice. To allow room for pleasant surprise. Ah, that's nice. What is it? Pessimists are the happiest people in the world because most of the time they're right, and when they're not, they're pleasantly surprised. Now that I think about it a bit more, there's a lot of stuff I can get from MOBAs. Yeah, I guess there's some like crossover, right? I mean, you could do like a tentacle, get over here. You know, you have a big burst of tentacles that like pull all of the mobs into you. There's like a cult like warrior type ability. That'd be quite cool. It'd be cool if they added like a similarly to like bloodline ascendancies, like your idea, Zerok, where they added like, you know, an ascendancy that you could, you know, a borrowed power thing, but it gives you like a new active ability, and you don't have to spend your existing ascendancy points, but it only gives you like new active abilities. So you still get your normal ascendancy, and then you can like spec into like something like that, like a black hole, or that'd be quite cool. You know, they have the design space to do that. Yeah, Dota makes you angry. I can confirm that. We like to suffer, but the wins are amazing. The lows are low and the highs, oh my god, the highs. It doesn't sound too different from Varashta or Ritualist. Yeah, except you have to like use your whole ascendancy, right? For those. I think the like ascendancy active abilities in this game, I guess people don't really like using them. Ooh, perfect essence of battle. Oh, fuck. Yeah, like on paper, right, the Chronomancer abilities are really cool, but no one really wants to give up ascendancy power for them. Or use them. The ascendancies need to compete with one-button build abilities. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I guess Varashta was well loved, right, for you being able to do a build just with the Varashta abilities. And if you're running a one-button build, you want more power that comes from... Yeah, exactly, right? You don't want to add new buttons to press. Yeah, good point. I guess even if you did those like bloodline borrowed power type ascendancies, then you'd still be competing with one-button builds, right? And I guess everyone would just take whichever ability was a buff that you only have to cast like every 5 minutes. Or they wouldn't use them at all. How do we make people play the game like we want to play it? How do we make them feel they're playing the game wrong? The age-old online game question. Changing hearts and minds. Are we out of touch? No, no, no. The players are. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, how do we convince all of the people that love, you know, Vampire Survivors that they don't actually love Vampire Survivors and what they really love is No Rest for the Wicked? I want combo after combo after combo on a single white mob that drops no loot. Try this on for size.
Go on.
Yeah, I can run that one.
Yes? Algold is worth more. Fine, fine.
I need to go this way. 4 more maps. 4 more maps, and then Dobby is free. The one button play is fun for 5 seconds, then just go back to idle clicker Heroes games and install an auto clicker and I'm done and just go play Dota. Yeah, yeah. I really enjoyed, so I think, you know, I think I get a lot of pleasure in that kind of situation from the progression of the character, right? When you're like making your way to that point, and even if it's like somewhat like that on the way, but you get those like regular upgrades. Like when I was playing POE 1 this league and I was playing Ronoray's Absolution build, which is just bonkers good. And it wasn't until, you know, there really weren't any more upgrades for me to get that were meaningful that I started getting like really bored. And the gameplay started to become quite mind-numbing and painful to keep doing. And so I think, you know, if you're able to, especially with your own builds, get that satisfactory progression continually, then you can keep doing it, right? And that's why I think so many of the entrenched PoE 1 players enjoy the game so much, because they have all of that knowledge that allows them to keep doing that progression thing each league, and that's the fun for them, right? They get rewarded for that deep knowledge of build creation. Or the people that aren't creating builds, right, just get to keep following new build guides, and you still get a little bit of that feeling, right? You get a little bit of the taste when you're following someone else's build. Like Ronaray put together the build, and I still got that little taste of progression, even though I was just following what he told me to do, basically. And so I was like, oh, I probably could have kept playing this if I felt like I could make my own build. The only thing you can do is to limit the scaling of an individual skill, so the only way they can get better is to combo it with something. Right, like they did with Druid, right? But then I think they've run into a different issue, and that's how railroaded the Druid builds feel. And you lose the sandbox, right? It's really hard to balance. I guess people still found inventive ways to there's very limited amount of skills for each form, and they're all designed to work exactly with each other, right? Apart from a few exceptions where like people found things that break the game. Yeah. Yeah, the restrictions, I guess, are weird, but maybe they thought that people would just be like, oh, well, they'll just dip into the druid form to get a buff, and then they won't use the other abilities. Maybe they wanted to just, at least for that league, right, get people just using the druid as a class on its own, instead of just like borrowing the abilities for buffs. I don't know. They must have had reasoning, right? Maybe just from an early access perspective. Start with it restrictive and then open it up later. Would make sense to me, right? If you wanted to test the game, which we are doing, right? Remember, we're testing the game. We are paid testers, as in we pay them. Yeah, it is. But for example, why would we need the skills to go to level 40? Can't it just go to 30? And if you want to get min-max, you need something. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm hoping for a big nerf to plus skills. Big nerf. Kill it dead. Yeah, capping plus skills. Yeah, I think is a good idea. You could like keep the plus skills. I think. Yeah, I think I've heard someone else say that as well, right? You keep the plus skills, but you cap how high a skill can scale, and so there's no point in having plus 20 to skills if you can only use plus 10 of them. That was a good idea to me. Means you don't have to get rid of the mod. It's still kind of necessary, right? But so it doesn't remove the fact that you have to get plus skills somewhere, but at least you don't have to get it everywhere. I think that's the problem, right? It was like when Rarity was rearing its ugly head much more than it was before this patch. And it wasn't just you have to get Rarity, it's that you really had to put Rarity on everything. Well, that's what people thought anyway. But I don't really feel the need to put Rarity on gear now. It still needs to go probably in the way that it currently works, but yeah, I think that's why I keep playing POE 2 so much, right? Because I keep managing to get that build making feeling of like progressing something, and it feels good to progress it each time. God, where the perfect jewel is that, eh? I think it's why all these private leagues have been, you know, such a temptation. Plus to specific skills instead of plus to all melee skills. Oh, I don't know about that. I find gear hunting tedious enough without also it needing to be specific skills. I think that would add a very large amount of tedium to gearing. That's the Diablo model, right? I can't remember if I did this episode depths. Bum 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 bum. I don't know, don't play that crap, but we need the crafting bench. Yeah, or just they need to fix whatever it is they're trying to achieve with runes. I think a crafting bench that lets you like swap things would be pretty useful to help with some of that gearing tedium. I mean, you've never played Diablo? You play RPGs and you've never played the Diablo games? I almost crashed out of university because of D3. Well, I say almost. I did. D3 on release was like brutally difficult. You remember D3 on release? Trying to do Inferno difficulty? Like the race to Inferno Diablo was actually like quite significant. There's that French guy that did it right in the end. The controversial guy. Don't even remember. Back in the day. The auction house was a shit show though, eh? The old real money auction house. What were they thinking? What were they thinking? Played Diablo 3 a lot actually, but I was always a MOBA guy. Dota 1, Heroes of New Earth, Dota 2. Fair enough. Yeah, we mustn't forget that Blizzard has a good track record historically, right? It's just the modern iteration of D4 is definitely not for me. I enjoyed the campaign in D4 when I picked it up. I felt like I got my money's worth. Felt like I got like a classic Diablo-esque experience. But then the end game, like every league, was just very samey to me. They weren't really doing anything interesting, eh? And there wasn't really much buildcraft. What's the worst ascendancy right now? What's the worst ascendancy? Probably Gemling. No, I think Chalupa's better than Gemling.
One down. Who's next? Fire shot.
I was going to do this build on Gemling, and then I realized when I went and actually read the Ascendancy nodes that none of them did what I thought they did. They are in a pretty bad place. But yeah, maybe it's close between Cholula Monk and Chayula Monk. You're getting me saying it wrong now. Chayula Monk. Easy for you to say. Chayula Monk and Gemling. Wait, have I beat the boss? Oh, I haven't. Whoops. Gordita. You were thinking the same, that it's Gemling. Yeah, like what was I was looking at doing this build. What was the node I was looking at? I think it was like attribute stacking. And there's one of them that I guess I misread it. Is it inherent bonuses from attributes are doubled? Quality to all skills. I can't even remember what it was I was going to do. It was some kind of stacking, and then it doesn't work in the way that I thought it was going to be. From S plus to F minus. I can't remember what I was going to do. I can't even remember. Did the inherent bonuses don't work for stuff like Heroic Tragedy? Black Scythe. But it did work, right? You could convert. And then did they fix that, did they? Because it was working before, right? Oh, it might be in my notes actually, in my build idea notes. Yeah, it was working that you could get double ES from Black Scythe. Yeah, I can't even remember what I was going to do, build idea-wise. Maybe an intelligence stacker? I can't remember. I can't remember. Whatever it was, my idea got killed once I actually read the nodes. I mean, there's just not really that much stat stacking at the moment either, right? Oh, I left a breach. Let's go get the breach. Because I think it's in the word. What's the wording of Black Scythe training? Oh, I need to check POE too. Right. Yeah. No, it does. It does work. Because right. It doesn't. It doesn't change the inherent bonus. Or wait. I can't. I can't. Yeah. I think it was working. That you would get double the ES if you did Black Scythe training, but I don't know if it was fixed or not fixed. I read when I was researching whether I could do a build like that. I saw someone saying that it was working, but I don't know if that was this league. But I guess I must have deleted all of my notes on the build idea out of frustration. So it's not in my brain or my notepad anymore.
The speed.
For a night drive. We found a collarbone. Nice.
Have you found? Take our gold and go. Find more breach remnants for
All right, we must be close. Two more maps. Two more maps. Oh no, I'm out of fragments. I think I'm just gonna run without them. No, I can run some. Can I? Can I be bothered? Maybe I just can't be bothered now. I just want to do Arbiter now. Just run whatever mods.
They will turn you into red milk. Right, here's some side. Need a sec. Ow, magic.
For a night drive. I guess I'm like, the aim of this grind to the Citadels is to get a pair of gloves that I'm not going to use anyway because I'm going to switch to a different build, but I want them. And then I want to go and kill a different boss with them. I reckon I can do T3 Sim with a pair of Synacrios. I don't know if I could do T3 Sim with my current setup. I mean, I don't know how much Delirious I've built up in this map so far, but the damage is starting to get a bit high. I also noticed there's still some like bugs with like the crossbow ammo. Like sometimes I'll go to shoot rapid shot and it won't be empty, there won't be a reload happening, and it'll still jam a little bit. It's like they programmed realistic crossbow physics into the weapons. And it's just every now and again they're like, oh no, sorry. Mechanical, you know, mechanical error. That won't be in my feedback video because I think maybe I'm just imagining things. Bum, 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 bum. Use. Oh. I also noticed with oil grenades, one of the little quirks was I needed to hit a certain number of grenades before I had good reliability with them hitting the enemies I was firing at. I guess that's why oil grenade builds tend to use short fuse. But once I hit, like, what am I firing? 4 or 5? I think I'm firing 5 grenades. Then I, more often than not, hit the enemies that I'm aiming at. I'm just going to run this blue. I think I've grinded enough breach splinters and catalysts for now.
Another notch on me helmet.
Boopy doopy boo. Skibidi beep boopy doo. Oh, you know, I tell you what is a nice feeling though, that I don't feel like I have to wake up at 6 AM to keep working on a video. Because I'm very sleepy. My brain's been waking me up for the past week at 5:30 in the morning so that I could like make progress. So maybe it'll give me some relief now that it's out there doing whatever it's gonna do. Unless my brain starts working on the next video, but I can't control it, you know. I'm sure you know how that feels. Especially with a game like this, right? Just bursting with ideas all the time. The curse of playing a sandbox game. It's like, oh, I could do this, and I could do this, and I could do this. I could say this.
Wait a sec. Hello there. Need more time.
But I'm not even using tablets, and it's still giving me Abyss and Breach.
Another notch on me helmet.
Oh, it's proximal, right? Wondered why I wasn't taking any damage. Ooh, a lightless void. Do you think we'll get like a... We'll get one of the rare jewels, maybe?
Speak. Zest, is it? Acceptable. Let us hope.
Boom, 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 boom. Well, I'm gonna go kill the boss, right? Because I can drop some good stuff.
Need a sec. Need more time.
I'm hoping I can take Blazer's teachings of like how to do thumbnails and stuff on forward with me. He made it so quick, the thumbnail he made for me. He was just chatting to us on Discord, and the guy is, you know, very talented. Just knocked it out like it was nothing. Give me a good item. Boo. My overall verdict, I think, on Incendiary Shot is it needs a buff. Maybe they just need to make Ignite, like, just prolif. Just default prolif. Maybe that would do a lot to help. Would that be so bad, considering how, like, how weak it is compared to the other elemental types? Or it could, like, you know, ash in the eyes or something, where, like, reduces, like, a very heavy accuracy penalty or something. But I guess we already have blind, right? So, yeah. That's already taken. And it doesn't really fit with the strength theme that fire is kind of heavily linked to. What would be some good secondary effects for fire? I guess I could just make Ignite better. Maybe they're worried then it just becomes the default elemental type like lightning currently is for damage. I can see why they don't want to homogenize stuff. I agree with that philosophy that everything shouldn't do the same thing. Alright. Are we here? We're here. This better be a new citadel. I can't remember if I did a blue beam yet. Don't have any blue maps. Temp chains. Yeah, well, it should fall over quickly, right? I'll just do the temp chains one. Stone Citadel. That's not Geonor, is it? That's Doriani. Oh, Doriani is the one I'm missing, yeah. Okay. Right. We're all good. Alright. Almost time for second Arbiter. They might be among us. Oh, you know what we could have a little bit of? Finish off the stream. A little bit of the music of sound. Oh, it's not on here? Oh no, there it is. If you all are not fans of Melody Sheep and haven't heard this album, I very much recommend it. It's called The Music of Sound. He also makes pretty cool videos about space. And then makes his own music for them. They're really, really good. I think his best one is Time Lapse of the Universe. Or time lapse to the end of time or something.
I can't give up. I must save my people.
I can't give up. I must save my people.
Let's see you survive this.
There's no need for all this.
Burn to ash, demon of Atzoatl.
All right, all right, all right.
Speak.
Come on, baby. Give daddy the gloves. Daddy needs the gloves. Daddy wants it.
The fourth edict already burns for
The voice actor for Arbiter's pretty cool.
sacred fire of the mother.
Oh, here we go. Phase transition.
Your affliction upon her.
So stupid. What the hell? That was too many. Oh my god. Your job is not hardcore. That was so many donuts.
You are too late.
I'll read your message in a sec, Zarok.
It already burns for your world.
All right.
Insignificance. This is the legacy of humanity. Acquiesce. The mother's
Ah, he slammed into the ignite. Ice is broken because of crowd control. Lightning gives you 20% more damage. Fire should also give something like that, or make them miss hits because they're blinded. Yeah, that's what I thought, right? The blind thing. Or like panic or something. Stupid Grand Regalia. Oh, and it's a decent one. Spirit, all Ellie, and Chaos. Ugh, disgusting. It's a really good Grand Regalia, isn't it? Think of all the things we could do with 44 Spirit, 40 All Res, and 48 Chaos, and 4 sockets. Panic is a huge CC, almost as good as stun. Could be, could be.
Speak.
Alright, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do T3 Zest, you know. I don't know if I have the, if I got the cojones. I'm going to have a go, though. How much HP does a T3 Zest have? Is it 9 million? Something like that? I know I'm going to mess up the mechanics. But can only try, can only try.
Well, that's one down.
I guess I could hold off pushing him until the DR wears off. That'll probably help. Run around him in circles a little bit, and then try and knock him down in the middle of his phase transition. Or I know pinning him in the middle of a transition has a good chance of like bugging the boss out. The bosses have some really weird interactions with pin and their like some of their abilities. That's what happened on my Zarok kill for this character. I pinned him just as he was about to do his lightning spin, and then he never like broke out of the immobilization. He just stood there in the lightning animation.
Need more time.
He just bloody stood there and took it.
Easy.
Yeah, I think Fire's identity is like, you know, a damage type that is its own scaling damage is pretty cool. Doesn't necessarily need to like CC or increase damage taken. If it can just do its own damage, right? Lightning's good because it increases the damage of everything else. But if Fire could just actually do good damage, what's wrong with that? But they don't let you scale it like that, do they? Alright, we pinned him. He's down. That was what, 13 million HP? 14 million? Pretty comfy. Not bad for Incendiary shot. And Rapid shot. I'd say the two worst abilities, maybe? Or maybe not the worst, actually. Maybe that's an overstatement. Fire and ice, heat then cool them out, and they break from within, like the expansion of contraction of materials in real life. That's a really cool idea, Zorok. That's really cool, yeah. Have some elemental interaction. We were talking about that yesterday, weren't we, Protagonist? Imagine if they added something like that. Like, I think I was saying, I think the idea was, what about negative interactions, like... Thunderstorm puts out Ignite. T1 lightning damage, T1 flat fizz. Intelligence, dexterity, life on enemy kill. That'll be nice for my thunderstorm should put out oil grenades. You're 100% right. Isn't it? Wait, isn't it? You shouldn't use water on an oil fire, right? Doesn't it make it worse? Huh? Huh? Aren't you meant to use CO2 on an oil fire? So technically, thunderstorm should make ignites do more damage, right? T2 fire, T3 fizz, T1 chaos. Oh, so close. Intelligence, strength, lightning res. I mean, it's an upgrade still, right? I think. But I think it leaves me lightning res starved. Yeah, it puts me at 60% lightning res. But that isn't anything I can't solve with a rune. I could give up some armor. What if we have something like dilutes the oil so it can't work? What if we have something like Greek fire with thunderstorms to spread fire water, like green fire? Yeah, that's cool. That would be cool. Add all these bits together. And this is what you end up with. Is this good? No. No. Evasion, ES, mana. Alright, I don't think I have any... Do I have sim splinters? 17. Hey! Listen! I know it. Fire should break armor. It's burning your gear right. You burnt your trousers. Minus 10 armor to you, sir. Very good. To you, sir. Minus 10. Suits you. Alright, what haven't I done? Oh yeah, I cheekily just took two 15% breach quant nodes at the start. I guess I do monster density now.
Go on.
In it. Lightning should do more damage against armor because it's metal and passes through it. But what about evasion gear? Oh, you mean like armor, right? I thought, yeah. My brain farted there and I was like, oh, but armor means all different types of armor. All right, well, I'm not going to go and find another. Oh, there's another citadel. Swimming in them. You're going to see a wizard? You're a wizard, Harry.
Speak.
Yeah, I don't know if GGG has aspirations to do this kind of interaction, right? They're really all about the spreadsheet numbers rather than the like interesting mixes of stuff. Guess I'll go run a temple. I have not found a fucking barracks in 4 temple runs, maybe 5. So I've had this spy master that's I'm probably going to lose now. I'm just been unable to progress my snakes. They might a lot of it comes down to time and scope. We should all move to New Zealand and work for them for free. Do you all know how to program whatever it is they use to program this game? Like they said that originally wanted monsters to have more abilities when they're rare rather than relying on map mobs. Yeah, right. Meaningful combat. And like the unique abilities of each monster as well. I think they should just remove lightning's extra damage and give it to fire, and lightning should make you twitch and make you miss some hits. Like you can't speak New Zenglish. Is it a pin or a pin? What are you asking for? Is it a pin? Oh yeah. You just need to watch shitloads of Flight of the Conchords. And you'll pick it up in no time. Brit. Oh yeah. What's this meeting about, Murray? Seem to have misplaced one of my CDs.
Well, that's one down.
You're actually a QA lead. Ah. So you got the skills to pay the bills. Unfortunately, my life skills are a bit too corpo for GGG, so I don't think I could help. I've been considering offering to help with Path of Building, though. I don't know how difficult it is to contribute to Path of Building. But there's a bunch of stuff that needs updating in it that I need. So keep toying with the idea of like maybe trying to find the time to offer some volunteer work for POB. But I don't know. Have you guys ever like looked into how hard it is to contribute to? I haven't even got as far as that, you know. You started to look at POB to put it in WhatsApp. We need it as a site, right? Yeah.
Well, well.
Yeah, no POB for Mac, eh? Oh, web app, not WhatsApp. I completely misread that. I thought you said you wanted to put POB in WhatsApp. I thought you were going to like be like, I really wish I could instant message POB. You know, when I'm feeling lonely, I can just text POB and be like, hey, you up? You got any theory for me? My girlfriend would be like, babe, who are you talking to? I'm like, no one, don't worry. Just my bit of POB on the side.
My pockets are full. Oh,
You can. Oh no, thank you. I don't know. I don't want an AI agent. I want it to be the real POB, not some AI simulacrum. Only authentic, artisanal, handmade POBs for me. No, no, no. He can make you into an AI agent, Mr. Smith. Oh, is this good? I would have to roll pretty good prefixes. Mr. Anderson. Human beings are a virus. You got any artisanal handmade POBs? That's what I'm looking for. I get enough AI agent talk at work.
day's work.
Focaccia. Smell that bread. There's someone at work today talking about how they have an AI agent they've called Grumpy Client, and they use it to pretend that they're talking to a client. Are you guys completely against agentic AI, and if yes, on principle or a technical gap? Well, no, don't get me started on the AI rant. I work in tech for a living. But I work for a very large organization, and so I have to deal with a lot of misunderstandings about the capability of the AI every single day, all day. And we also get a lot of pressure from Amazon and Microsoft and Google to say things are being done by AI when they are not. And it drives me insane because, unlike a lot of people, I have professional integrity. So I understand that they are remarkable and I understand that they are useful, but unfortunately I'm put into a position where I have to say they're more useful than they are. And then in other areas of life, yeah, it's a principle thing, right? I think Adobe openly saying they want to steal art is a big no-no, right? Why would we want robots to do the fun part? We want the robots to do our washing up, right? Not our art. It's a complicated subject. I'm against AI as a tool. No. Am I against the ramifications of what it will bring because the system is ill-equipped to deal with it? Sure. But yeah, I think I've given my take on that's my surface level take of my feelings towards it. But like Protagonist says, it's complicated, right? It's complicated. And I think Sam Altman's a gremlin. but that's neither here nor there, right?
One down. Who's next?
Oh, look at that T1 Thorns roll. I want AI to play my game so I can work to pay for the bill. Make you think. But yeah, while I'm not, you know, I'm no longer a developer, so I don't have to deal with AI day to day from a development perspective. I do try and stay in touch by speaking to a lot of developers about it, because it's still like development is a part of my job even if I don't do it. Been doing a lot of DevOps lately. We're doing the whole infra and move to Azure, and GHE moving from Azure DevOps. Built the whole thing in infra in 2 weeks. AI gave me time to play while it works. Yeah, fair enough, man. Especially for infrastructure as code, right? Infrastructure as code is that was what I used to do when I was technical. I was an automation engineer. Like, I think that's a good point, right? Like, it's quite a structured and relatively solved problem set. You don't need to really innovate very much when you're doing infra as code. Because the templating system is quite rigid. Especially in Azure, right? Opelotti. Okay, we'll try and transform that. After AI gets my jobs, I go back to plant potatoes. I think you're safe from AI taking your job in the long term. Maybe in the short term, right? Executive fantasies mean people lose their jobs. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, my career was tech, is tech, but now I do operating models. I design operating models for big enterprise.
Another notch on the armor. Inferno. Square.
So yeah, I used to be very technical, and now I do consider going back to being technical, but maybe I've picked the wrong time, you know, with the rise of AI assisted development. I sometimes miss it, right? I used to love just sitting there and coding. It's so much easier than what I do now in terms of like the problem solving side of things. There's too many people in the problems I try and solve at the moment. You know what people are like. Oh, it's gone 11. These gloves suck. Don't know why I'm looking at them for so long. Do I? I should go to bed though. Do I want to finish this temple? Alright, I'll finish the temple and then I'll go to bed. Hopefully I can finish it quickly. Ooh, Takati. Okay, I'm not going to risk that. We like Takati. Hakuna Mataki, Takati, Hakuna Takati. For the rest of your days, it's a problem-free philosophy. Hakuna Takati.
Stay quick on your feet.
But I do have to say the rise of all of this stuff in AI has made me enjoy my job less than I was before. Make of that what you will.
New floor plan.
Boom,
Same
boom,
old
boom, boom. I mean, how about you? Do you find you're enjoying your job more or less these days? Last year we failed a project to modernize the whole of IT of the city of Antwerp because of the corporate pushing every one of us to just click the modernize button in AI, and it's done 300 million project. Poof. Wow. Yeah. That's the problem with executive fantasies, huh? They think because they will it, and therefore it must happen. I am starting to see some acknowledgements from CEOs that AI productivity gains are not exponential, they are incremental. But the problem is there's such a long tail. As like, you know, because people find out about, you know, the AI capability and like what it might be able to do, and then you have to go through the whole cycle with those people every single time. So I think this tech hype cycle in particular is just going to have a much longer tail than the previous ones. Like we had this with big data, right? That was a whole thing. You don't really hear much about big data anymore, right? We still sell it in my organization. But there was a time when everyone thought big data was going to solve all of the problems. Cloud to some extent, right? Remember when Azure first came out and Microsoft were just pouring so much money into convincing everyone to move to Azure? And then everyone's like, oh, our infrastructure bill is going to get cheaper. Did it? Fuck. And then you just end up needing much more specialized engineers to deal with your infrastructure. And everyone forgets to program the whole point of them, which is that they're ephemeral. And so you end up just paying more. And then Microsoft pushes the prices up over time. Like, what's everyone going to do when the AI companies need to make a profit? What do we think is going to happen then? And then no one's got any skills because everyone thinks the AI was going to do the job for them. It's actually been more enjoyable now. Created a whole suite of agents and training them on current project, different profiles and all of that. Been to a nice Microsoft. That's really cool. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, I'm glad to hear it actually. Yeah, I ran into another engineer at a party. And he was asking me how he could convince his seniors, you know, for some organizational change. But he was telling me, right, that he'd been playing around with training agents on his code repository, and he thought with a good like 3 to 6 months of dedicated training, he could get one of his main code bases to be like self-maintaining. But the problem he had was that that's asking, you know, a senior manager or exec for, you know, 3 to 6 months to do that is the same as asking them for 3 to 6 months to solve technical debt. They are just going to say no because they want new features. And he could not get the AI agent to make new features. But yeah, I'm glad you found a use for it and that it's making your life easier. That's really cool. I want the tools to be useful. I really do. But I just think they have specific use cases, eh? And everyone thinks they're a panacea. Yeah, I'm pushing the POC idea to show them the new software-defined lifecycle, but the dev are horrible. Alright, let's sell this stuff. Prevent destabilization. Use a medallion. Okay, nearly done with the temple. Nearly bedtime.
Wonder where I'll end up this time.
Go grab this medallion. Ah, reroll room cards. That's what I need to get some more barracks. You're off to bed. Thanks for hanging out, Zerok. It's been a pleasure. Enjoyed the chat. Enjoyed a little tech chat. Don't get to do that very often on here. You have a good night and a good week. I will be back next Monday because I'm away this weekend. No stream on Sunday. So maybe I'll see you next week. Oh, we got a cultivation orb room in here as well.
Gotta stay quick on my feet.
I don't really need to run the rest of these, right? Just for a couple of Val orbs. Oh, it's only a couple of rooms, I'll do it.
You know what they say about foul money? You win some, you lose some.
I'm surprised how good the build feels now, actually. And we got to use an interesting, unique. How many builds get to use a Zoph's blood, eh? Wait, you weren't kidding? Someone else linked to your video on Reddit. It has upvotes and stuff now. Yeah, right. Someone was like, "Oh, I found this video. It's really a good breakdown." You thought I was joking? Someone got your Reddit karma, eh? Wow, I just face tanked the slam. Cool. I was a bit distracted, so it kind of went by me. Fair enough. All right, that's a temple. Steel paw meets steel face. Yeah, I don't think I need to place anything else. We've protected the spy master. So there's a guardhouse. Finally. Bloody finally. So I'll put the guardhouse. And then I think I just re-roll these, right? Aha, and then another guardhouse. So I can do armory. Guardhouse. Nice. Do prosthetics research. We can protect the cultivation chamber. Throw a commander down here. Could grab a bronze works down here. And then just path up here. Alright. But that's it for today. I think this will be the end of Incendiary Shot. I think next week I'm going to do something different. I'm going to maybe do some Deadeye Primal Strikes. No stream on Sunday because I'm away in Sweden. And I'll be back next Monday evening, usual time, 8 p.m. till 11 p.m. UK time. I will enjoy Sweden, thank you. Going to be a lot of good food, some go-karting. I haven't had a drink in like a year and a half, so I'm probably going to have some nice wine for my friend's 40th. So yeah, you have a good week and weekend too, and I'll catch you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye!